Lesson 3 has to do with some helpful features that are built into Word. Some of these features you are not even aware are working for you. I'm going to go through them real quickly. We're going to talk about the autocorrect feature. I'll show you how that works. We're going to talk about the auto format as you type feature. That is automatically already turned on for you. All you have to do is just type it, and I'll show you how that works also. Quick parts. This is probably something new that you'll need to pay attention to when we go over it. The autocomplete feature, again, that automatically is working if you're watching your screen. Inserting the date and time, I will show you how you can insert the date and or the time on a document. It's built in there for you. How to use spelling and grammar, which most of you probably already know how to do. How to use the thesaurus, which will be very useful to you when you're doing your English papers. And then also how to insert symbols into a document. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the autocorrect feature. Many times people misspell the word when they're typing it as T-E-H. Well, the programmers for Microsoft Word have already built in a little dictionary of commonly misspelled words and the way they're misspelled, and so they have also put the correct spelling. Watch what happens when I press the space bar. Can you see it? Let me blow it up a little bit. When I press the space bar, it automatically corrects the word the, that spelling of it. Notice what happens if I type a lowercase I right here, which so many of you are used to doing because of texting. Word has already got an autocorrect feature built in. When I press the space bar, notice it capitalized the word I. There are a lot of built-in autocorrect features. New York City, most people will, I hope that's the right way. No, NYC. Will abbreviate New York City as NYC. Well, when I press the space bar, it automatically types it out. These features are found in the Office button right here under Word Options in the Proofing group under Autocorrect Options. We have many different tabs here. You can add, here's our list of commonly misspelled words that are built into it. Look at it. It's a big, long list of words. You can add a feature. Suppose I want to add a shortcut feature, maybe when I type my initials, PW, and it's already in the dictionary here. Let me cancel. Let me go back here. Let me scroll down and find that real quick and delete it out of here. So you can see how I add it. I'm going to delete it. Oh, I deleted that out of the list, so now I can add it back. In other words, when I type PW, it says replace the PW with my full name. And I'm going to add it to the list. It appears down there. I'll click OK. Click OK. Now watch what happens when I type PW and press the space bar. It automatically types my name. This can also be a shortcut feature, and I'm going to have you create one for your name, so when you put your footer information on there and stuff, all you have to do is type your initials, press the space bar, and it will type your full name. We'll do that when I get through here. All right, another feature is the auto format feature. Again, it's already turned on for you. In other words, if I were to type the date January 1st with the ST on it, watch what happens when I press the space bar. It automatically formats the ST to what we call superscript. It's already turned on. You don't even know it's working. Suppose you wanted to type a fraction 1/2 and you do 1/2. When I press the space bar, it makes it look like the real fraction. It's called the auto format feature. Another one is if I wanted to do a numbered list, if I type the number 1 and the space bar, it automatically knows that I'm going to type a numbered list. And then when I press enter, that still is turned on. I do not have to retype the numbers. And it's all formatted so they line up together. Now to turn it off, you do press the enter key 2 times and it turns that feature off. So that is a real quick way to get a numbered list. Just type the number, period, and the space bar, and it will take care of the rest of it for you. Suppose you type a web address like so. You know when you press the space bar, it turns blue and it's underlined. Well, that means it is an active hyperlink. But sometimes we don't want it to be blue or underlined in our body of text. So to remove that or to take that formatting off, if you will select the web address, right click and choose remove hyperlink. Now it's not blue, it's not underlined, it's also not an active hyperlink. It's just plain text. And sometimes we do want to take that blue. We don't want it to be blue or active. We just want it to be informational. So to turn it back on, just do undo. All right, at this point, that would be the way to do it. All right. Let me talk to you about quick parts. Now, folks, you're going to need to really pay attention here on this. You have some text already typed, and your instructions are going to say to create a quick part entry. What you have to do is select the text. Oh, I don't want the paragraph mark. All right, select the text. Quick parts are found under Insert, right here. On the Insert tab, go over to the text group and it says Quick Parts. Click on the little drop down arrow. At this point, we want to save selection. In other words, save what we have selected to the Quick Part Gallery. It's right here. So click on it. It's going to ask you to give it a name. It will tell you what name. We're just going to leave it what it is, Chamber of. And I click OK. That's got it saved or got it created. Now suppose back up here after New York City, they wanted you to put that quick part entry. So go to Insert, go to Quick Parts. Notice right here, it keeps a gallery. So all I have to do is click on this item that I just created, and it puts the words right there. Yes, is there another way you could do it? What's another way you could have done that? Pardon me? Typed it, yeah, but what's another way? Something we did in the last lesson. Something you could do. Not cut, but what? Copy. You could have copied it. But suppose I type this address. Whoops, don't want that. I type this address over and over again in other letters. Yes, Coach. Suppose I use this address over and over again in all sorts of documents, and I don't have it available to copy and paste. I'm going to highlight it. Again, I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to create, save it to the Quick Part Gallery. So I click the drop-down arrow, Save Selection to Quick Part Gallery. I'll just leave it as Tahlequah High School, Tahlequah High. I'll click OK. Now I get a new document. I want to put the address on there real quick. I go to Insert, Quick Parts, and here it is. it saves it for me in the gallery. So I don't have to type that over and over and over again. So that is one reason why, and I can use it in any document. It's always saved in the gallery as long as I'm on this machine. It saves it in what they call the building blocks. So that is how you do the quick part entry. You first have to select it and save it in the gallery. Notice I don't have anything selected, so this is grayed out. It's not usable right now. But if I were to select something, then I would have it. I don't want to select that again. Let me see. Suppose I type these letters all the time. And I don't want to type that each time I type a letter. I select it, go to Insert, go to Quick Parts, Save Selection, and then I'm going to type Sincerely, and that's the name I give it. I click OK. Now if I open up another document, first of all I want to get my address up there. Oh, there's my address. I type my letter. I want my signature block, so I go back to Quick Parts again to the gallery, and there's my signature block. I do not have to retype that over and over again. So it's a time-saving device. I know for you, you may not understand it at this point, but in business and in a lot of companies, when you type this over and over again, you probably want to create a quick part and put it in the gallery. All right. Something else, and guys, you won't see this unless you watch the screen. Let me take it down to 100. Watch what happens when I start typing the word Monday. It pops up that little screen tip. This is called the autocomplete feature. It is already on there. It knows I probably want to type Monday, so if I catch it right at the right spot, I can press the Enter key and it will just finish it out. The same is true. Watch what happens if I type, there's the month, and if I go put the date, sometimes it'll type the entire date. Well, it's not going to do it for me. But those are called autocomplete features. Sometimes you'll see it, but you kind of have to be watching your screen. I usually don't catch it right at the right point, so I end up typing the whole thing out before I realize it's up there. Inserting the date and time. There is a function in Word that will automatically give you the current date and time. It's under the Insert tab. It's under the text group, Date and Time. All you got to do is click on it. It will give you a listing or a formatting. Most of the time, the general format to put a date on a letter and or memo is the third one down. So you have to select your option and click OK. You didn't see that because it's down. Let me do it again. Insert, date and time. I'll put it right here and click OK. Notice when I did insert date and time, there's a little box down here that says update automatically. What that will do is, suppose you type a letter today and you insert today's date, because that's the date it is. But you're not going to mail it out maybe until 3 days. You want somebody else to look at it. But you want it to have the current date. If you will put a check mark here to update it automatically, Word is pretty smart, and when I open this letter tomorrow, it will update that date to show tomorrow's date. It will show the current date of when you last opened it up or when you open it up. So sometimes you want that selected, sometimes you do not, but it is down in that little check mark. Spelling and grammar. Most of you know that when a word is misspelled, it's underlined in red. If it's underlined in green, what does that mean? Does anybody know? It's grammar, yes. Now, several ways you can use spell check. One of the quickest ways is just to right click on the word, and it will give you a list of words that it thinks you're trying to spell. If that word is in the list, then just click on that and it will change it. Another way you can do it, we added it to our quick access toolbar right up here. It's the little shortcut icon. Or you can go to review and go to spelling and grammar right here, and it will run you through the entire document at once. A lot of people like to type it and just get the text down. Then they will go back and run spelling and grammar on the whole document at one time. It's kind of a time-saving device. Notice it doesn't like my group of letters right there, but let's say those are correct and we're going to ignore them. There's a grammar thing. It doesn't like that punctuation. Oh, let's change it. They'll give you an option down here. Sometimes the grammar, you have to kind of look at it to see why it's marked it off for grammar. Sometimes it has to do with spacing. Like you put 3 spaces after a period when there should have only been 2, or you didn't put any spacing at all after a punctuation mark. Grammar, proper nouns. Some proper nouns, if they're unusual, will not be in Microsoft Word's little dictionary that it has built into it for spelling. So you may just have to ignore those. Don't change them if they are spelled correctly. Just ignore them. Somebody tell me, what is a thesaurus? Tells you synonyms. This is very useful to you, especially when you're doing term papers, because a lot of times your English teacher will say, don't use that same word over and over again. Find a different word. Find a synonym for it. Microsoft Word has a thesaurus built into it, and the way it works. Suppose I want to find another word for the word start. If I will just click in the middle of the letter, in the middle of the word, I'll show you the long way first. It's under review, and it's in the proofing section right here, thesaurus. And it will pop up a task pane right over here and give you a list of all the synonyms that you could use for the word start. Now, your tendency is going to be, okay, I want to use the word setup, and you're going to come over here and click on the word setup. It doesn't work that way. You have to come over here and put your mouse on the word setup, go over to the drop down arrow and click insert, and then it will change it. Let me show you if I can get back to it. If I click on setup right here, it just goes and looks for a synonym for setup. It makes a whole different, changes the whole setting altogether. Oh, phooey. Let me go back to that and close that down. Open up the, so remember, oh my goodness, that's changed sides. Click, put your cursor on the word, but come over and click the drop down arrow. The other way you could do that is you could right click on the word and go to, well, it didn't like that. Oh, it's because this is open already. Should be able to go to synonyms here. For some reason it didn't like it. You've got to be very careful, folks. Notice that start could be a verb, or it could be a noun or another noun. There's all sorts of meanings that words could have. Make sure when you change the word, you read the sentence to make sure it makes sense in the sentence. Alright? So that is how you use the thesaurus. One last thing I need to show you is, suppose you want to get the copyright symbol or the trademark symbol or some other kind of symbol. Symbols are under the Insert tab right over here under Symbols. You need to click here and go to More Symbols. These just keeps the most recent ones. So go to More Symbols. It will open up in a minute. It's rather slow. There it is. Now, some of you are going to have to look very closely. There's a whole different list of symbols. There's different font symbols, and then there's a subset right over here. One of the symbols you're going to have to look for today is going to be the little N with a little tilde mark over it. Not a capital N, but a lowercase n. And right here it is. It's under the normal font, under the subset Latin 1. So if I click on it, that just selects it. But to get it inserted into the document, click Insert. Now, it will put it where your mouse is. Sometimes the screen hides it and you don't think you've inserted it, so you just keep clicking Insert, Insert, Insert. Well, when you do that, it just keeps putting in the letter there. Close this down and hunt for it. This is much like a little picture now, even though that looks like a letter. Let me go back and get another insert. Press enter. Let's go here to symbols, more symbols. The copyright symbol is one that you might need to use, or the trademark symbol or registered. That's under special characters, still under symbols. If I click on copyright, insert, and close, then it's there. Maybe I want to put the copyright date. I can make this little. I can change the font size and make it very small compared to the text. Some people use symbols. You think it's clip art, but it's really symbols. Let me show you one. Under Webdings, got a whole bunch of them here. Webdings, Wingdings. Webdings has, well, it looks like pictures. Suppose this is the Parthenon. I think that's it. Or maybe let's do a spider web for Halloween. Click Insert, close. Now I can treat this like a letter, text, and color it. It's already black. Let's make it red. And I can blow it up to where it looks like that. Now, even though this looks like clip art because it's a picture, technically it's not. It's a symbol. It can only be two colors, white and another color. I can't multicolor. You can't multicolor symbols. It's all under Insert, Symbols, More Symbols. And you do have to look for whatever symbol it's asking you for. Most of yours are going to be in normal text, and there'll be a subset of them. Any questions? I think your quick part gallery will be a little confusing to you, and your symbols. Use your date and time feature. Some of you will say, I can just write the date and time. I know that, but learn to use it. It will be very useful for you if you don't know the date, and you do have to use it for the time.